Tripod here, how you going guys? As promised, Tyro79 Pro 2022 version is on the workbench in pieces, and I'm now going to do a full assembly. And there will be a fair bit of skipping forward and editing, etc., speeding up, slowing down. I'm not going to explain to you guys exactly what you do for this build. It's fairly straightforward. I'm not using any instructions, basically going to more or less put it together, and hopefully I'll have everything the correct way up where it is meant to be. And of course, any questions about this build from the kit, whack them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer. As promised, I'm going to be chucking on the FPV 2.4 gig receiver, the little Moxon antenna, so that's going to be really good for range, which I will certainly test at the end of the video. Enough chit chat, let's fire up the soldering iron, grease up the pliers, let's go. Strap first. Okay, next on the flight controller. Make sure you have it the correct way up. You can see a small arrow on the top there facing forward. That arrow is only on the one side, so that's going to be our top, and you'll have the two holes top and bottom, so this will sit in like so, and that is going to be the forward part of the quad. Don't forget to put your little rubber seats through the tiny holes of the flight controller. Yeah, it's 1 through. And if you're going to ask me which is my least favourite part of building a quad, it's putting these stinking little rubber boots through, these little rubber dampers through these holes. They're a pain in the butt. 1 down, 3 to go. Relatively easy, all 4 dampers through. Nicely fitted. I'll just slide that off for the time being. It's time to put on our motors. You'll see there are 2 silver nuts and 2 black nuts. So counterclockwise and clockwise. The silver ones are clockwise and the black ones are counterclockwise. So make sure you do offset these motors, guys, otherwise you'll have some trouble. Black silver, silver black, super straightforward. Let's put on the flight controller. And because I'm fairly clumsy, I just like to just put a bit of masking tape over the flight controller in case I accidentally drop some solder onto it. Don't forget your capacitor, and remember there's a positive and negative on here, so the long arm is going to be the positive and the negative is the short arm, or the one that's attached to the grey on the side there. So I will shorten that a bit because it's a bit long. Okay, so the easiest way is run the capacitor over the top there with the XT30 wires underneath. That's where it's ultimately going to be sitting. I found it's best if you put the capacitor on first and then load up your XT30 positive negative with a fair bit of solder or tin, and then place it straight on and get a nice solid strong grip. Okay, that's all 4 motors wired up. I'd like to say that was super easy, but as you can see, I've got my solder extractor here, and I need to use some rosin. If you do cut the wires down, you need to pre-tin it, and we are good to go on to the next step. Okay, there'll be a diagram either at the end of the video, or you've already seen it on the screen, or it'll be on in a minute. Anyway, there'll be a schematic diagram showing you where I've actually put my camera VTX and my 2.4 gig receiver, so they're all wired up. If you are going to use the R2, the soldering pin is really tiny, and you'll see on the diagram next to it there's also another pin which you shouldn't touch. Luckily Eachine have actually completely blotched that one out, so you're not going to double solder by accident. Pretty straightforward, so let's put the smoke stopper on, hook up the battery, and let's see if we have VTX and a bit of telemetry before we jump onto beta flight and finish the build. I always like to use my little homemade smoke stopper here. It's pretty straightforward device. Just allows you to plug in your smoke stopper. Links down below if you don't know much about these or you would like to get yourself one. So what the smoke stopper is going to do is, if you have soldered something incorrectly or you have bridged some soldering points, this will actually stop it from smoking, i.e. hence the name smoke stopper. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. Red light, smoke stopper, that's good. We have our VTX powering up nicely. I'm hoping the camera works. Flight controller seems to be working. I have motor music and my receiver's good, so I'm willing to say things so far are going really well. Excellent guys, so you won't be able to see that, but R1 straight away. We have some data and we have some picture. Get on to the next stage, which will be beta flight. Props on and see how it flies. A little thing to be aware of, yeah, don't trap your camera outside of the frame here, otherwise you'll have to pull it apart and put it back inside because it won't go through there. For the sake of the review, I will leave the standard little sticky antenna for the VTX here. I will replace that with something a bit more decent because that is a fairly budget antenna and certainly will affect the range of this quad indeed. So I will fly it initially with that and then I will follow it up with a different style antenna. Fairly easy to remove and replace. My ELRS receiver is going to go at the back there. Little tip when you're about to put the side plates on so that you can mount your camera, just put the camera through and put the camera cover on and it sits there nicely ready to go. But so far this has been a very enjoyable build and I haven't really come across any significant issues just yet, and I don't think I'm going to either, so it's really good.
A few moments later.
Okay, out in the field with a oh sorry, wrong one. Yeah, out in the field with the Tyro79 Pro 2022. This is the new version, upgraded VTX, all-in-one flight controller, some different props, and I have fitted the Beta FPV ELRS system on here. If you've just watched my build all the way through, thank you very much. If you've just joined me, just hit the rewind button if you want to have a look and see how I wired up my ELRS. I'll have some pictures there and some descriptions there for you guys as well. And be sure to follow those instructions, otherwise it simply won't work. And there's also some beta flight setup details for you as well. Anyway, this is going to be its maiden flight. It will double up as a bit of a penetration test. I've got a 653S on at the moment, so I don't expect it to last too long. However, I'm itching to see how this build goes. Let's get it up and have a fly around. Fingers crossed. Let's go guys. Thanks for joining me. Okay, take off. I am set to 400 milliwatts on the VTX guys. I'm using my SkyZone 04Xs with the steady view receiver, etc., which has given me a little bit of trouble lately, but we should be able to stick it out. It flies quite smoothly. Actually, that's quite nice. Through the trees. Nice little gem fan props on here. I haven't played around with the on-screen display too much. Just wanted to get this thing up in the sky and see how it flies. Feels pretty good. Nice and smooth. And the beauty about this is, guys, that you put it together yourself. I always like to do a cautious flight for my first flight, just in case something isn't wired up properly. Yeah, it feels pretty good though. Feels really nice. Yeah, like I said, this 3S 650 has been thrashed out a fair bit, so it's not going to last too long. However, this was just going to be a quick flight, so I can see it's actually going to work, which it has really well. Really nice, very happy. And watch out for that branch. Oh, and we're in the grass. Stand by. There we go, guys. Successful build. Lots of fun. Little 2022 Tyro79 Pro. Really good price. Really good budget build, guys, if you are looking at having a go at building your own quad. You can of course purchase this already built. Otherwise, yeah, get the tools out, have a little bit of a play. As long as you follow the instructions, you won't have any trouble. And it's extremely rewarding as well. And I must be pretty much out of power now, so again, guys, thanks for sticking out this long build video. I'll do a range test and I'll modify that VTX antenna in my next video, so stay tuned for that. And we're almost out of power. Yeah, 5 stars, guys. Really good. See you next time. Bye for now.